What's up, a Cinema Shogun here, and the question that is on everyone's mind these days is where in the world is Ezra Miller? Well, it turns out he's just hanging out with his mom as we speak. In fact, the paparazzi just last night took photos of Ezra Miller sitting on his porch with his mom. And this is why I am growing so frustrated with this case. This is why I told you all in past videos that the mainstream media and the powers that be are still interested in protecting Ezra Miller at all costs. It's like they want their cake and they want to eat it too, though. You get what I'm saying? Like, they want to put out the headlines. They want to put out these news stories because they want the clicks and they want the views. But they don't really want Ezra Miller held accountable for anything that he does, because they're literally sitting on this news and releasing it in an untimely manner. A lot of this information that they're releasing is months old. Half of the new news articles that have been posted this week, it's just information that I already told you all about back in June and July and May and maybe even further than that. It's like they're sitting on top of these stories, and it's like they're almost obligated to release this news, but because they don't really want nothing to happen to Ezra Miller, they just release it here and there, months and weeks late, after the information isn't even really relevant anymore, or isn't as relevant as it would have been at the time. And while they'll sit there and they'll release headlines, Ezra Miller on the run, Ezra Miller is missing, where is Ezra Miller? They know where Ezra Miller is. Ezra Miller isn't as hard to find as some people may think. And I say that from experience because I literally was able to pinpoint Ezra Miller's location and Takata's location, who was supposedly a missing child, multiple times. But when I and others reached out to Takata's parents, they didn't even so much as write us back. And we were trying to give them information on how to find their daughter. So there's really something weird and strange going on here when everyone's acting as if they can't locate Ezra Miller, when I, from the comfort of my home, was able to locate Ezra Miller. So surely law enforcement should be able to locate him. Surely, other people like investigative journalists who work for the mainstream media, they should be able to find him. You see, the paparazzi didn't have a problem. If they want some pictures for their headlines, they'll go find him in a heartbeat. But when it comes time to serve him with some protective orders or some restraining orders that may protect a young woman's life, no one could be bothered with it. Not even the parents of the freaking child could be bothered with it. Yet they're talking to the mainstream media every chance they get. Yet when people who are actually concerned about this little girl reach out to them to tell them, hey, your child may be here, your child may be there, it's radio silence. So it's a really, really weird situation. But it's also very frustrating for me, because I've been working on this story for longer than most people. And I've been on top of it for a while now. And I've just noticed that while it may appear that people are putting energy behind trying to find him and locate him, for the most part, they aren't. Like, don't get me wrong. Judging by the headlines and the news stories, you'll think everyone has got their pitchforks and their torches ready, and we're all going to hunt for Ezra Miller. We're going to find this guy. In reality, no one's doing anything. Ezra Miller has been allowed to go around and do whatever the hell he wants. Now, Ezra Miller's fan base, they're trying to play this as if, look, Ezra Miller, he's so innocent. This whole time you've been claiming he's doing this and he's doing that. Really, he's just chilling with his mom. Now, that's not necessarily the case here. I'm not saying that Ezra Miller's just been chilling on his front porch with his mom this entire time. In fact, I know for a fact that he hasn't been. But it's just funny that everyone's acting like as if he's so hard to locate when he can be found. If people really want to find him, they can find him. But it seems as if people want to post these headlines and they want to post these news stories, but they aren't really interested in locating the guy at all. Now, why is that? I don't know. But it's causing a lot of Ezra's fans to, come up with theories and explanations as to how he's really innocent and everyone's out to get him. And now they're spinning this as if, oh, because Ezra Miller was spotted for once chilling, not doing anything wrong, just chilling with his mom, that, oh, this means that Ezra's been chilling the whole time. And everyone's painting him out to be a bad guy when he's just hanging out with his mom. But we know that's not the case. But let's read this article. Ezra Miller appears to be relaxed and unbothered these days, despite their laundry list of legal woes. The Flash star is now sporting a full mustache, which curved upward along the toothless grin they flashed for the pops. He did not stand up from his chair or put down his phone for the impromptu encounter. However, his mother seemed to not be okay with the situation, and she grimaced and shouted at the paparazzi while pointing her finger in their direction. And, I'm not going to sit here and say that there's anything with the mother trying to protect her son. I really want to get into the dynamic that Ezra Miller had with his family. I haven't dived deep down that rabbit hole, like what caused Ezra Miller to be the person that he is today. Now, as far as this is how I'm viewing the situation right now. I feel like this whole story could go in one of two directions. One direction being Ezra Miller manipulates the hell out of everyone. Okay? I don't want you all to underestimate this guy for 1 second. So I believe one of the things that could happen from here is Ezra Miller manipulates the hell out of everyone. He uses his, his gender ideology or how he identifies as, he uses that as a shield, kind of eases his way back into Hollywood, kind of, lays low, doesn't get in any more trouble, and hopefully this kind of blows over. And, maybe 10 years from now, we'll find out that Ezra Miller has another cult and he murdered 5 people. Who knows? But I do believe there is a strong possibility that Ezra Miller could pull it off and make people believe that, oh, he's this changed man. He went and got help and now he's okay. No one needs to worry anymore. This was just a rough patch in his life, but now he's okay. And he may even use this situation to virtue signal, to act like he's more of a victim, to have this rough part of his life that he could look back on and he could pull up in whatever, situation that he's in to make himself look better or to make himself look more virtuous. Being a victim and going through tough times in your life, that's considered a badge of honor to these woke idiots out there these days. So I believe that's a strong possibility that Ezra Miller somehow, some way, he doesn't redeem himself in our eyes, but in Hollywood's eyes, because listen, they want to forgive this guy. They want to move on from this story. It's obvious that they don't want to necessarily get rid of him for a reason. Probably, you know what? I'll actually tackle that in a different video. I have some thoughts on that. But it's obvious that, if they really wanted to get rid of Ezra Miller, he would have been fired from The Flash a long time ago. But it's like, no matter what he does, it's not a big enough deal for them to get rid of him. People have been fired and just canceled for far, far less. Yet Ezra Miller seems to be able to do whatever he wants. So I do see a small possibility of Ezra Miller somehow pulling it off and making people believe that he's this changed man and somehow he comes back into the picture. I believe that's a possibility. I don't think we should underestimate him. Regardless of what we may think about Ezra Miller, it's obvious that he has some type of charming, weird effect on some people. I don't think he would have that effect on me. I don't think he would have that, that effect on most of the people watching this video. But some people are drawn to this guy, probably because of money, probably because of fame, but maybe he has a way of talking that just, sits right with some people. So I believe that he's conniving enough. I believe that he's smart enough. I don't think Ezra Miller's stupid. Yeah, I think he does a lot of stupid stuff. Yeah, I think a lot of stupid stuff comes out of his mouth. But he's a little smarter than people give him credit for. You have to be smart to be a cult leader to a certain extent. At least somewhat. So I do see that as a possibility. The other possibility is that this just goes even further out of control. And eventually Ezra Miller, winds up losing his life or causing other people to lose their lives. So that's the only two directions I see this story going in right now. There's other information that's going to trickle out sometime soon, hopefully. It seems like WB is currently trying to figure out what they're going to do with him moving forward in their future movies and in the movie that they have already prepared and ready to go. It's just a cluster F. I'm trying not to cuss. It's a cluster F of a situation, a very weird, sticky, icky, weird situation. And you have to understand that from my perspective, and I have a more of an inside look at this situation than a lot of people, it's just extremely odd for me seeing how the mainstream media is reacting to this and how they're just being so sluggish and slow on putting out some of these news stories and how they're being misleading. And then the family of this kid that is missing, they're being kind of weird as well. It's just an all-around weird situation. But of course, Ezra Miller attracts weird people. So what do you expect? All parties involved are kind of off, if you ask me. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all on the next video.